Hi guys, this is Wolf from Tesla Owners US. And hey guys, look at my shirt. I can show you that. This is the shirt from the Rocky Belly event, and they really do have electric cars there. At least they are showing here 2 lightnings or blitz. So that was one of the t-shirts there. No, many people ask me if there is a trailer hitch for the Model S. And there is actually multiple manufacturers has one. I got one from 2014 and I installed it for myself. And the installation description and installation video, what you can find on the internet now, is somehow okay, but they already had the bumper detached. And you have to do actually a little bit more. And I digged out some old material, some old footage from 2014 when I did that. And that's what I want to show you, because I recently added a lid for that. And that lid is the same lid for the Model X. I will show the video for that as well. But that lid now fits for the Model S and the Model S. The Model S not perfect because you had to do some adjustments there. But watch the movie and see if you can use a trailer hitch for the Model S. This one, what I have, is from Torque Lift. It does 2,000 pounds towing and 200 pounds stress on it for itself. So it's a smaller one. The Model S, as you know, can pull with 20-inch wheels 5,000 pounds and has also, I think, 500 pounds pressure. So it's a smaller one, but might you like it. And here are the installation instructions. Sorry, there was no sound what I had from 2014. I had to speak to this and I had to dub sound on it. Okay, enjoy that movie. Bye-bye.
I pressed and say, I went and say.
So this was 2014, where I bought some higher stances for the car in the garage, and that I wanted to drive the car onto these higher stances. I tried that, and as you see, this type of stances there, and what has to happen there also is after you drive the car on those stances, you have to go to your system and turn on the jack mode. As you can see there also, it was the old session or the old layout of that in 2014. So what happened then when I drove on it for those higher stances, they slipped through because the underground was so slippery on that material, or the material itself was slippery. On the other side, it even cracked those stances because the weight was too strong on that. So I had to buy a new set and also secure the new set with additional rubber on the other side so that they cannot slip when I'm driving on those stances. So you better have a different method in order to lift up the car with a lift. That would be much better when you lift up the car. So these stances they lasted only for the time when I did this installation. Then I actually never used them again. Okay, what I did is I attached those rubbers to those lift-up stances there, and then attached them all the way around with some tape, as you can see, and something I glued on it as well, just to avoid the slipping on those stances. After that, I actually drove the car on those stances and they did not slip anymore. And you see there, these are the new stances for that. So when you see here, the car is all the way up to the new stances, correct, on both sides, and there is no leeway, and it should be high enough in order to look up or look under and work under the car. So this is really not the area to secure it, but there should be some measurement in order to secure the car so that it doesn't roll down. This is anyway, and then you should probably have also a towel or a blanket underneath of the car when you go under the car and work on the car. So then we are coming to the trailer hitch for that, and this is an Eco Hitch from Torque Central, and there's no drilling. You just have to remove the bolts and the screws and attach new ones. It comes in that package with an installation instructions, but the installation instructions just barely gets you through the installation. There's a video for that as well, but that's why I'm doing this video, because the video doesn't explain everything. So then after that, you go to the underbody and have to remove the fins underneath of the car for the rear diffuser, and you have to take both sides off and also take the bolts off from there and free off the underbody up to the drivetrain. So I did, and that is 10 millimeter hex bolt where I did that, and I used an electric bolt for that, electric drill for that in order to deattach it. There was some damage on those ones as well. As you saw, they are easily to be damaged when you are driving on the highway with these. So remember where you have attached them and where they are being hooked in and how they are being hooked in. And you see the clamps there on all sides and how it's being attached. Here are the fins for the rear diffuser, and remember what bolts are going with what fins and if they are okay. Sometimes they get a little bit damaged or when you are setting them up. This is how they are being installed, and you can remove those, or you should, or you have to remove those, because you have to remove all of the panels up to the drivetrain. And these are both sides with 10 millimeter metric bolts. So some of them are being snapped in. So these are the standard snap in plastic pieces from Tesla, what they always use. That's about, I think, the same size. And as you can see here, so something is snapped and something is bolted to the lower body panels. Then when you go underneath the car, then after the fins, you have to remove the body panels up to the drivetrain. So you have to take them all off as well. There's no choice that you can do it different. So this should be high enough in order to crawl under the car and remove these body panels, all of them, and then put them aside. Maybe you have a choice to even clean them up at the same time, because these panels will be having a cut in where underneath of the bumper the trailer hitch attachment goes out, and that's why you have to cut a hole in there. Some of them are Torque 30s. I replaced actually the Torque 30s with regular Phillips screws, which are standard Phillips screws for license plates, what you can use, and they need to be attached there as well. Then please remember what screw is attached. So I put them into a pattern, and that's how it's been done in the aerospace industry as well. They actually put them in foam, and there are installation points for those ones. So you can put them in a certain pattern where which screw goes. If they are the same length, that's not a problem. So then you can see the drivetrain, and everything is being removed there up to the drivetrain, all the way across there, and you can see where the bolts previously have been attached. So next one is actually to remove the bumper. So there you have to go somewhere inside there. There are some clips what you have to remove. The best one is to press them with 2 fingers and then pull them out. And after the clips, there is also some of the bolts which you have to remove. You can see that the installation instructions are telling you also where that needs to go. You see that, and you can from there, when you remove the wheel well felt, then you can get to the bumper parts. There is that additional 10mm bolt, what you can, with a special tool, can take out. But it's not that easy to get to that screw. And additionally, there's another screw on the upper portion of the wheel well, what you have to get to as well. On the upper portion of the wheel well, and there is also a torque, I think it's a torque 30, where you need to get to. So when you go with your hand in there, you feel that where that is and where that is being attached. So you have to push there an extension with the torque 30 in there in order to take that out. So on your left side you see that extension with the torque 30, pushed it in there, and I used an electric. So there are some special bolts what you need to get at for the bumper or for the intrusion support there, and you need to have some tools to get to those from the other side, from the inside. So I really recommend to take the lower carpet section completely out, and I think that the manufacturer recommend the same way. So they are just being clipped in. Remember not to lose any clips for that, otherwise you have to replace them. And take that entire section what you have there out, and also the lower the lower trunk section out. So you have some time to clean it later, and then you can put it aside in your garage for the reinstallation later on. Now, I also recommend that piece of the trunk here to be removed, because you need to get easier to the cables and to some other bolts there, so you can clip that or bend that forward, including the ceiling. So here you see the part from the opposite side is also be clipped in or hung in. So take that off again also, and put it aside. Here you see the clip holes and how you can access the rear section of that bumper. Now, usually the ceiling is also in the way. You can just easily remove that out and later attach it back in. So remove that ceiling as well. After that, it is pretty much clear when you have that ceiling removed, and then you can go to the bumper itself or to that intrusion prevention from that bumper. So here you see the whole bumper is off from the side. That can easily scratch, so watch out that you don't scratch that bumper section. So you see a whole bunch of bolts for that intrusion prevention steel, or I think it's steel section for the bumper. That would have to be removed as well, because you're installing the kit. Here's the bumper again, and how it's been attached, including the lower panels there, as you see.
Now this intrusion prevention, I think it's steel protection piece, you have to remove that, or you have to remove the heads from those bolts in order to take it off, because your installation will be below that. So take the heads off and then put them on the side. That's how they look like. Yeah, and that's how they look. Then the new look like. So you see the new look like they are grabbing. The other one are just flat. They are locking down the new heads for that. That comes with the new kit as well. So it's all in the new kit included. Actually, you have these old bombs left. So just then take the entire support there, or bumper support or intrusion prevention off. You see, remove all of the bolts there and take it completely off so that you can install the trailer hitch below this support. That's actually the entire intention for that. It's just installed below this intrusion support, and it fits exactly in, as I noticed. Now also this bar has to be removed as well, which is underneath of the previous one. So that's how you see that. I think that's steel as well as the support bar, also to protect from intrusion into the trunk. You just have to remove that because the trailer hitch support will go just below that. As you can see here, now everything is completely off. So, and just the bolts are sticking out, and you would have to install your trailer hitch to those 8 bolts. Here's the other section of a sensor. You have to reset the sensor to a different position, as I remember. So there are those Velcros kits there, and then you see here that it's on a different position because you have to put that on top of the assembly of the trailer hitch assembly, and then reinstall it and clip it new to it. So I think they're delivering also some Velcro, some new Velcro with it. So then you clip those on. So then you put that inner bar on top of that again. So that now the trailer hitch is already being installed. Put that bar on top of that, and then after you're attaching the wire to that, and you put the upper section, also the bumper section from that intrusion kit on top of that as well, and you will bolt that down. Now after that you install the upper section, you install all of the bolts with the heads there, and it's really not as of a difficulty. Everything fits pretty good. Yeah, sometimes you have to wiggle a little bit where the trailer hitch will be installed there, but I think altogether that was not as of a difficult installation. So if you have all the tools for that and you have a little bit practice in assembling or deassembling, then it should not become that difficult. So from here you see the bumper and how the lower section of the bumper was attached here, or is attached. And in this big piece of the lower section of the bumper, you see the attachment holes for that. There you have to put it all back together, and you have to, at the end, cut actually a hole in it. And that hole is being meant for the trailer hitch itself. They will give you for that a template, and with that template you can take a jigsaw and cut the hole in that lower section invisible in that bumper. I did it actually differently, and I will explain it in the movie thereon, because what they provide, they will provide a magnet which will fit into the trailer hitch and will cover that hole what you put into your bumper. I really did not like it. First of all, that magnet cost close to $100, and there should be an easier, cost-effective solution in order to manage that. And that's what I did. So I show you here very briefly that you can do it the way they want it, with oval hole. That's the template for that, with an oval hole to cut it in there. I did it from the opposite side. It's easier to access it, and then cut that hole in there, as you see from here. And then you could get to the trailer hitch. So I will show you the material, how I did it with parts where the lid was supplied from Tesla, like it's been done at the Model X.
Okay, this is really difficult to show. So when I open, there's a little flap here. This is what I've installed before, but I changed the rear diffuser because I had a broken piece from the rear diffuser, and then I only had a half cut hole here. The access to the trailer hitch is here all the way in the back. I think you can see it from here. So I have to cut somewhere in between here, and for the rest of it all the way down. So let's see how much room I have and how much can I cut in here. So I'll show you what I want to do with what is on the Model X right now. So here's a Model X trailer hitch. Actually, this is a blind one here. It fits into here, and then from here there's a lid on that with two snaps. So here's that lid, and it fits in here and it snaps in. So I have a spare lid, which is actually this one. The guys from Tesla, I ordered that, they had it on stock. They gave it to me, very nice from them. And I want to replicate this piece in order to fit this lid just directly in the Model S. Let's see how successful I can become. So the first thing what I did, I built myself actually two templates. Actually, it's one template made from cardboard, and I cut that out. So this is the template for the inside to snap that in here, and then here is the template for what I at minimum have to cut out, which is the same size as it is from the Model X. Hey guys, look at that. That's the rear diffuser, the chrome piece of that. It has some portion of that purple now. And look what I found. There's a screw missing. That is the Torx screw, I think a Torx 30, at least on the other side. And you see it here, it's a Torx 30, and it's on here. So basically I have to kind of cut in here and then pretty much in the middle and hit everything correctly. Okay, I measured the middle, just in the middle, and then I move that piece forward, keep it straight, and at the model axis almost all the way forward. I probably cannot do so much. And when I'm here, then it's just where the attachment is for the trailer hitch, right in the middle. So first I use the bigger piece where everything is around it on the whole template. And then I'm taking the frame off and I'm using a smaller piece. So then I went with a Sharpie all around it to see where I have to cut. Probably with a saw. Very careful. Okay, with a jigsaw, this piece we now cut out here. Okay, here's the cutout. Sometimes you have to drill a hole in order to get in there with a jigsaw, and then you make some fine works later on as well. Here's the access to the trailer hitch, and here is where that part goes in. Actually, this is one portion of the part. So watch out, there's a wire here. You cannot disconnect that wire. That's attached here. Actually, I took it off here, I hooked it off from here and pushed it more to the inside. I think that's the wire for any connector there. And then these overlapping pieces, you take them out as well from here and here. This goes all the way in here. So now you do the fine fitting for this piece. So now it becomes a little bit tricky, because in order to get that inside, you need to cut that chrome on the marking up to here off, and then you have to drill a hole for the clamps to clamp in into the upper piece here behind. That's that black plastic. So you gotta have a cutting tool. So I'm using this for it, and then I cut that here in, and then later I drill a hole in for those clamps in there. So these are actually for these clamps. You have to draw nice rectangle holes for that. So, or as good as you can. I think that's better to use a saw for that and cut it to the markings. So at the end it looks something like that. Okay, there's a lot of fine work to be done, but then here you can put the clip in and drill holes and then make it a rectangle in order to clip the piece in. At least one piece is lower than that to clip it in. Then do your marking for the clip hole. Actually, for the first one first. Do the markings here. Do you see that? Wait a second here. I'll do the markings first for the clip holes. Get the right drill and then try to make it drill through, and then try to make it rectangle. Or mark the other holes the same way. That's almost like rectangle. That is the hole for the plastic pit to go through. It's gonna become bigger or thicker. And the same way here. So mark them and drill them, and then you can try to fit them. This one becomes bigger as well. So then you fit the piece in, snap the four corners here and here, and then you can exactly push the pins in. So when you buy this part, get some pins or get some more pins, because they usually get lost fast. So you press those pins in with here and here as well. So that is the best fit possible, because it's not all the way in there, but that is an alternative for the trailer hitch cover.
So at the end, please check that you have attached all bolts of the lower section, including the rear diffuser and the body panels. So that was already at night. So everything is fitted in, everything is tight, and nothing gets loose, like I showed you before, and everything is back as it was before. So that might, you see also there are the plastic clips which are being pressed in, so everything fits, every single bolt, and everything is there where it should be. I hope you enjoyed that movie, and I just did it on a request of a couple of users. They always ask me, is there a trailer hitch for the Model S and can I install something? I will also in the description move the link of the trailer hitch where I got it from, and also the movie where it is being shown as a short installation for that. But otherwise, I have not used the trailer hitch much, but if you need to use it, then this is how you can install on your Model S a trailer hitch.
I pressed and say